Well, hello and welcome to the Ram Show. It is not a Sunday, it is a Tuesday, and I'm gonna bring Zach's mic in here too. There we go. Hello, Zach.
Hi.
So we're doing it on Tuesday. So I wanted to do it on Saturday. You completely forgot, or no, it wasn't that you forgot, was it?
Well,
No,
kind of, but I forgot to, I guess, leave that time open.
Well, no. So what happened on Saturday was you had stuff to do because normally we do it on.
You had stuff to do on Sunday, right?
Yes, I had a family reunion, which was awesome, ton of fun. But anyways, so that's why.
Speaking of such occasions, I may not be available this Sunday because of a similar occasion, a wedding.
Okay, so do we
I'm
plan?
not really keen on attending, but I don't really have
So do
much
we
choice.
plan for a Saturday show then, or?
Actually, Saturday is the worst day. Saturday is the day that it's actually happening, and I think then Sunday we're going to be traveling home.
Oh,
As
I
it were,
see.
and I'm not sure, so that's why I'm unsure. We might be on by then.
So shall we shoot for a Monday show next week?
We'll just roll with it and see what happens. I would hope that I'm available by 5.
Okay. We'll tentatively set it for Sunday. If Sunday doesn't work, we'll be back on Monday, or should be.
The problem is I don't really know much of the details of what's actually happening, the time schedule.
Right? This is one of those.
But
I
it'll
just live here.
happen.
Nobody tells me anything.
It'll just be like I'm just here. I don't really want to be here. I'm just rolling kind of thing, you know?
So you know what's hilarious, or what I find to be slightly hilarious, right? Is
Really?
that Zach is, well, I wouldn't say you're antisocial because you're
No.
really not antisocial. You prefer to stay indoors most of the time. Oops.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh my god, especially this time of year. It's way too. It is way too hot.
So don't move to a state like Arizona or something like that.
I would probably die.
Or like New Mexico or something. Let's see here. What was I gonna say? Oh, so it's quite odd, but no, I wouldn't say you're antisocial. You just prefer to be more alone than anything. But if you have to be around a crowd of people, you'll do it. I mean,
I really don't like crowds.
you really don't like crowds, but if you have to, you will.
Ugh.
So anyway, so that's why I said I wouldn't say Zach is antisocial, but he prefers not to be around people, and he also, as you just heard, prefers to be indoors most of the time.
Ugh.
The funny thing is, except for when it comes to the winter and skiing, that one caught
Oh
me
well,
off
yeah,
guard.
that's the only sport that I can really get behind.
Okay, so explain to me how that works. What is it about skiing
I
that's
don't
like,
know.
sure, I'll go out and do that?
Perhaps only because I've been doing it since 4th grade.
Okay. So, and you would say that
I
where
don't
would
think
you
if I've
rate?
never done it before, now I don't think I'd never. I don't think I would just suddenly decide, hey, I want to try it. More like,
Okay.
oh, I've been doing this since 4th grade and it's fun, so what the heck.
So, let's see. We've got two people watching. I'm wondering if Joe's on. Joe, if you're on, shoot a message real quick.
It's a weird time, so I guess I wouldn't be surprised if he's not.
I don't think he works on Tuesdays though. So, anyways, or whoever's watching, just I guess say hi. But um, I'm like slightly a little discombobulated because I didn't. I was like, this is a weird time, so I'm not used to getting set up for it. And so, oh shoot, did I even? No, I didn't.
Ooh, we get to make fun of Comcast this week? I love it.
I put the show together last week, and I totally forgot what's here. Do you want to? Okay, let's see how you're doing. Oh my goodness, I'm actually surprised you're in the rundown. Uh,
Oh, I mean, what do I look like?
well, last week you weren't. Did you just delete something by accident?
No, I just spammed a random key by
Oh,
accident. Into a
uh,
box.
so do me a favor real quick while I'm getting this ready. Could you? We've tried this before and he kind of failed, but that's okay. Give a quick tease as to what's coming up on the show this week.
What? Are they gonna make me do this?
Well, I mean, you look through the rundown and kind of give a quick tease, I guess.
Okay, we're making fun of Comcast. We're talking about Samsung SSDs. Talking about Surface Pro updates.
Yep.
The Threadripper 2. That's awesome, actually. I like that.
Did you look over that story?
Opened things twice, so now I don't know what I have open and what I don't.
I apologize,
briefly,
everyone
yes,
with headphones. Probably just wrecked your ears. Rip.
Did I? What did I do?
Wait, what's up?
What did I do?
Oh, no, me.
Oh, you. Oh, I was like,
I just exported the rundown so that I can pull it up.
That's awesome.
I just exported the rundown so I can pull it up here. And probably just wrecked everyone's ears who has, it's Joe. Hey, Joe. So we were thinking about this, and I would totally love to come up to Minnesota this winter, go skiing with you, and I'd love to bring Joe along.
Does he do that?
I think slightly. I don't know. Let us know in the comments, Joe. I don't. If I remember correctly, I don't think Joe has ever skied before, but I could be wrong.
Waiting at the bottom for you two all the time.
Well, okay, but see, here's the thing. I've skied before, so I'm guessing it's kind of like riding a bike. Once you get back into it, it'll come back to you. So
yes, I don't know.
Well, that's what happened with ice skating. Okay, Joe has skied before, but probably not much. I think we said that he would have to start off the Buddy Hill, though.
Oh, I'm not going there.
No, you're like going off Black Diamonds and stuff like that.
That sounds boring.
No, I mean, come on. If we're gonna go ski, we gotta hit the Black Diamonds.
Oh yeah, depends where, I suppose.
Probably the Alps.
Oh, that? Oh yeah, I've been there a bunch of times. That place is.
Or Mankato Heights, one or the other. Well, they're kind of combined. I don't know. What's better, Mankato Heights or Afton Alps?
Actually, it's been a while since I've been to either, so I can't really tell you for sure.
So, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, he's not very good at it. Well, he probably hasn't done it that much. But anyways, no, for those folks that don't know what Afton Alps or Mankato Heights is, they are two skiing hills in the, central part of Minnesota or so? Kind of like that? Something?
I'd say,
yeah. Anyways.
Not really anything like the mountains, though, that's for sure.
Oh, well, have you ever skied in I've never skied in Colorado, but I know Colorado has mountains.
I have been a few times.
Oh, fun. So anyways, enough about sports and other things like that, because that's not what this show is about. We are going to jump right in, and we are going to make some fun of an ISP.
I love doing
Comcast. Comcast security flaws exposed customers' personal information. Oops. So, security flaws in Comcast Xfinity customer software reportedly exposed customers' partial home addresses and, get this, social security numbers. Wow.
Right. Why does Comcast have people's social security numbers anyway?
It's used as a verification method.
Seems like a awfully odd verification method. Surely there are other methods without such sensitive information.
Usually it's only the last 4 digits.
Oh, well, okay, that's...
But I don't know. They might use the whole social security number, and I don't know if some of it comes down to, because I think, like, cell phone companies, like, they pull financial records and stuff like that. I think. I could be wrong. Because you always hear about people who have bad credit not being able to get a cell phone. So, But
wouldn't that only be like where you basically lease the phone? Those things they
that
do where
could
you
be. I
just
don't
pay
know.
monthly for the phone, and I always found that to be stupid. I would rather just have a phone and just buy it up front, and this is mine now. I'm not
Well,
borrowing it
that's what I did with my
from some
Samsung
greedy
Galaxy
company.
S9. I don't actually fully own this phone yet. I'm still paying it off. Now, the reason I went for this one is because I got 2 years to pay it off, and my plan was to pay it off ahead of time. But I mean, it comes out of my bank account, every month, uh, automatically and stuff. So I might just, let it run its course, and you know.
Doesn't that? I mean, don't you end up paying more though?
No, so it's 2 years, no interest. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, that's a little bit more stomachable, I suppose.
yeah. That's why I went for it, because I got 2 years to pay it off with no interest on anything. So I don't have extra costs to worry about. So I basically just pay it off monthly, and when I'm done, I'm done. So now, security researcher Ryan Steverson found that two vulnerabilities in the Internet Service Provider's online portal for its more than 26.5 million customers. Let's just pause for a moment and go back to that number. 26.5 million. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of social security numbers. It's a lot of personal information.
Yep.
But they left the data open to hackers. That is according to BuzzFeed. Now, here's the other thing. Now, Comcast patched the vulnerability after, get this, BuzzFeed News reported the findings. Okay, let's pause again for a moment.
Why don't you privately disclose the vulnerabilities before you do that?
Or, well, no, here's the part that's more...
Security 101 right
Here's
there.
the part that's more surprising to me, is that it took BuzzFeed finding the problem before Comcast knew there was a problem. It shouldn't work that way. You should know what's happening on your own infrastructure, and if somebody breaks in, you should know about it before anybody else knows about it.
Well, it looks to me like nobody actually broke into it.
Or
just some researchers found out about it.
Well, okay, but that's what I'm saying.
And it was patched before somebody could abuse it, which is lucky. But
right, but what I'm saying is that you should know the vulnerabilities in your own system before somebody else finds those vulnerabilities. That's what I think. Now, I know companies hire people to do that kind of stuff, but in general, if you have a good security practice in place, you should be able to know when somebody is accessing your stuff or where there's security holes. At the very least, you should, hire one of these consultant firms to check those things for you. So, that's what I think. I might be wrong, but anyways. So, let's see here. So Comcast said they quickly investigated these issues, and within hours, we blocked both vulnerabilities, eliminating the ability to conduct the actions described by these researchers, a company spokesperson said. We take our customer security very seriously, and we have no reason to believe these vulnerabilities were ever used against Comcast customers outside of the research described in this report. Again, if you value your customer security so much, then how was this not known about beforehand? That's I keep coming back to it. I sound like a broken record, but I mean, seriously.
I just hope that this was privately disclosed to them so they could fix it before it was published.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually.
That would be very stupid to publish it before privately disclosing. That's responsible disclosure, Those vulnerabilities, you report them to people who can fix them before you go and tell the world that this is what you can do to get some information about people.
Well, so Comcast Xfinity inadvertently exposed the personal home addresses and social security numbers of more than 26.5 million customers. Let's see. Two previously unreported vulnerabilities in the high-speed internet service provider's online customer portal made it easy for even the unsophisticated hacker to access the sensitive information. So, after BuzzFeed News reported the findings to Comcast, the company patched the flaws. So I don't know what that means. To me, that sounds like they reported it to them, but hopefully, like you said,
Yeah,
they did it
I would hope they responsibly disclosed it before publishing.
right. Now, spokesperson David McGuire told BuzzFeed News, "We quickly investigated the issues, and within hours, we blocked both vulnerabilities, eliminating the ability to conduct the actions described in those by the researchers, which we talked about." And again, the whole thing about how we take our customers' security very seriously. So, moving back to this article here. Now, one flaw was found on Xfinity's in-home authentication page, and basically what it did, it allowed customers to pay bills without signing in after providing their identity using either a partial home address, or using a partial home address. Okay, so then what hackers could do is spoof the IP address and refresh the page, allowing them to figure out the partial address as that as it would stay there after as it would stay there through each refresh. So basically, you put the partial address in, right? Then a hacker spoofs the IP address, refreshes that page, and the whole address shows up, no matter how many times you refresh the page. That seems like a security flaw, which it was, and that just seems, what's the word I'm looking for? Irresponsible to design a system that way. Well, it also sounds irresponsible to design a system where you only need a partial address to be able to pay bills online, I guess.
I think the idea is that if your IP address is that of you, well, I guess, then it must be you, right?
Well, no,
So
because
like,
I don't
well, let's
think
use that.
I don't think
Like if you're on your home network, then Comcast knows it must be you because your home network is probably private to you,
I don't know if they link
which is
your
the idea. Although, yeah, I suppose that would probably be a little bit
Well, no. So I
vulnerable.
don't actually believe that they could, but I don't believe that Comcast is keeping track of all the IP addresses and linking those back to each customer. I think
Oh, they definitely are. I'm sure they are.
they might be, but I'm sure the idea behind this was for easeability. Here, type in part of your address, and then that will give you, your account, right? Rather than having people have to sign up, remember a username, remember a password. So in theory, it makes sense, but when it comes to the security portion of it, not thought out very well. And
Well, the reason it's lacking is because if somebody got onto your home network, they could have access to that information because they can pretend to be you.
right, but why is it caching it like inside of your network somewhere? It shouldn't cache that information. Every time you refresh the page, it should refresh the request basically, or I don't know exactly what I'm, but you know what I mean. Like, if you refresh the page, you should have to put that address back in. It shouldn't just be cached somewhere in the network, because that would eliminate somebody getting in, spoofing your IP address and refreshing the page, and then it's showing the full address. So that part seems, the easeability part of it, okay, fine. Like, I'll give them that. But the part where it's still cached somewhere, that is just irresponsible and a giant security risk. Which, again, was what happened here. But, like, do you get what I'm saying, Zach?
Kind of.
So what I'm saying
Yeah, I
is,
suppose.
is that every time you go to the page where it asks you to type in your address, right, and or your partial address, right, and then it takes you to another page that shows you the full address, right, that page should not be cached anywhere on your network, because basically what's happening is hackers are getting into, they're spoofing your IP address and then pulling up that cached version of the page.
Yeah, but I mean, once the hacker has seen any of the information on the cached page, as you say,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it wasn't being cached, they could store it by other means.
Right, but what I think what's happening is people are spoofing the IP addresses after the fact and then going to the page.
Probably makes things easier for them that it's cached, I'm sure.
Right. I'm just saying that every time that page where you would make a payment, I'm guessing, comes up after typing in your full address. You should always have to type in your full address. So if you go back and then you try to go forward, that page won't load again. It'll basically error out. That's how it should work. So, and I'm sure there's some kind of token, that could be used to make that happen. But, I'm sure it's the same thing if you log into a website, right? And then you hit the back button and you log. Well, no, because that uses other means of like cookies and stuff. But anyways, whatever. So Comcast, basically their solution was to disable in-home authentication. There we go. After learning of this, so now you'll need to manually enter your personal information to verify an account. Didn't you have to do that in the first place?
Not all of your personal information.
Okay. So the other vulnerability, in the Comcast authorized dealer sign-up page, excuse me. So if a hacker had a customer's billing address, brute forced it by typing random 4-digit combinations until they happened onto the right one, they could get digits of the customer's social security numbers. Why are these being stored in plain text somewhere? They should be hashed or something like that, or
No, they're not necessarily in plain text. It's like they're brute forcing a 4-digit, like a password, pretty much.
Right to get in.
They just try it until it works, right? It's not necessarily stored in plain text. When they try a combination, a number, it's
right. But once they brute force
against the hashed version.
Okay, but once they brute force their way
correct, right?
Once they brute...
the problem here is that there's no limit of how many times you can do this. So let's say
I
guess there's 9,999 combinations of 4 digits. Then they can just try 9,999 times until they get.
There's probably more than that, isn't there?
Well, if it's only 4 digits,
9,000.
4-digit combination, right?
Right. 9,999. Is that right? I don't know. You're much better at math than I am.
What would that be?
Well, because what I'm thinking is, right?
It would just be like 0000 to 9999, right?
Yeah, but then you have to think about all the other combinations too. 1000, 1000, or 1001, 1002, 1003.
Well, that would be 1001, which is covered under.
No, because
it's covered under that 0000 to 9,999. Like, think of it on a number line, right? It's like 0000 over here at the back. It's just 0.
Well, no.
And then 9,999.
Oh, no, because here's what I'm saying, right? So let's see. So 0000, that would be one combination, right? But then you also have to consider 0001, 0002,
and
0003.
That's on the number line too. That's on that number line.
You might be right, and I might just be overthinking this. I don't know. So, anyways, that's what I'm saying, because each one of those counts as one. Oh my goodness, why am I so tired? Counts as one.
See, I just Googled it. A 4-digit code could be anything between 0000 to 9,999. Hence, there are 10,000 combinations.
That's what I was. Okay. That's what I was. I think
now
we were
You're making me overthink it here.
No, I think we were thinking two different things. No, so what you were saying is you can go all the way up to 9999, but I was thinking that you were talking about how many different combinations there are. So there are 10,000 combinations.
Yeah, because
that you would have to go through
9,999 combinations plus 1, which is 0000.
Oh, okay, I get what you. Yeah, whatever. This is why we don't do the show at this time.
I'm not having a problem.
But no, basically, so what Comcast did was they imposed some restrictions as to how many requests you can put in
Like that should be common sense, though.
It should be.
Why would anyone need to brute force that information? Why would that even be a possibility?
Right.
Like, just put a cap of, like, say you can only do it 10 times.
Really, the only thing that it comes down
to... 10 times too quickly, then you're going to get locked out for...
Yeah. The only thing that I can think of in my mind is security by obscurity. I don't understand what it is about these major companies.
That's a public-facing system, so I don't know about that. That's a public-facing system. There is no obscurity. That's
right.
just
I think it's just
really. That's just not really thinking things through. Is more like what we're talking about.
So what's the word I'm looking for? I said it before. It starts with an I.
Idiots.
Not idiots. When you do something that's
come on.
When you do something that you know is not right, but you do it anyways. Irresponsible. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. It's just them being irresponsible, I guess. So, I don't know. This is why I am happy that I have a local co-op that doesn't pull crap like this. So, speaking of which, I'm working on a major network project for my church. By the way, if you ever use a patch panel to go to a switch, right? Don't make patch cables on your own. Just buy them. I have about like 4 more small patch cables to make to go between the switch and the patch panel. I did like 4 or 5 of them yesterday. My fingers were not happy. So, also, ceiling tiles are evil. So the ceiling tile people came in yesterday, and I still had like 4 or 5 runs to run back to the mechanical room, and they'd already started putting some of the ceiling tiles in, so I started lifting them up, of course, so I could get to the ceiling and run my lines, right? Well, I get done, and my arms are, like bothering the crap out of me. Turns out there was fiberglass in the ceiling tiles. Yeah, that was fun. So, yeah, don't play with ceiling tiles, Zach. They're not fun. So, but yeah. All right, moving on. Samsung has some new SSDs coming out. This is kind of interesting. So, now I think both me and you can agree that NVMe storage is way better than SATA storage. Did I lose Zach? I might have lost Zach. Zach, can you hear me?
Say that again? Sorry.
Oh.
No, I'm here.
Where were you?
I asked you to say that again because I didn't hear it.
Were you just like
I guess you didn't hear me.
Were you tuning out for a moment, or did like the connection drop out?
No,
okay.
I just didn't hear it. I only got the last bit of it.
So, no, what I was saying is I think both me and you can agree that NVMe storage is way better than SATA storage.
Well, yeah. It's just objectively better. That's it.
Objectively faster, too, isn't it? But a couple years ago, Samsung launched its first 4 terabyte solid-state drives, which might as well not have existed, given their $1,499 asking price. Would you spend that much on a 4 terabyte drive, Zach?
No.
I
wouldn't spend that much on an entire computer, but not one drive.
So today the company announced, last week the company announced, announced the commencement of mass production. Ooh, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning so much this week. Of a mass production of a more, though it's too early to know exactly how much more affordable variant of of its 4 terabyte QLC SSDs.
So I do question possibly the reliability of this QLC stuff. Now, I completely forget the details, but as I remember, you've got MLC, TLC, and now QLC types of flash, and those describe the number of cells that it has, and the more cells, the less reliable you're looking at. So now we're up to QLC. Are they? I hope their over provisioning and stuff is on point to make up for the lack of the lesser reliability. QLC is much cheaper though, so that's what's going to happen here.
So that's what's happening. So the QLC is much cheaper, so therefore the price of manufacturing is cheaper. You can sell it cheaper,
and it's also slower. But
oh joy,
you can make up for the lack of reliability, the lesser reliability by just over provisioning.
Well, and that's what
I would assume that they're probably Samsung SSDs have a pretty decent reputation for being reliable. So I would hope that they wish to preserve that reputation.
I would hope. But no, so the article says the knock on QLC NAND storage has traditionally been that it sacrifices speed for increased density. However, Samsung promises the same 540 megabits per second reads and 520 megabit per second write speeds for its new SSDs as it offers on its existing SATA SSD drives. So, what do you think about that?
Well, perhaps. I wonder if there is some over provisioning going on here.
Right. Real quick, I gotta put this.
There always is over provisioning. Sorry, but like some maybe they're using more chips, more physical chips to increase the amount of bandwidth that they can get out of them.
Okay. So, real quick. So, I was at the store the other day, and there were some kids picking up some school supplies. And one of the items on the list, I don't know if it was actually, like, printed this way on the list or not, but totally somebody who didn't know anything about technology. Portable hard drive, right? So, what do they pick up? Right? A flash drive.
No.
Except for they called it a portable hard drive.
Well, actually, that's probably what they were looking for.
Well, yeah,
just somebody
exactly.
Decided to call it a portable hard drive.
Exactly, and that's what I was like.
Okay. When you said portable hard drive, I was thinking like one of those that's like actually a hard drive that you just plug in.
Right. Okay. So let's go over this real quick. This right here in my hand, this is not a hard drive. This is a flash drive. It uses flash storage.
Not a USB stick, jump drive, flash drive, whatever you call it. It's not a hard drive.
Why do they call it? Okay, where did the term jump drive come from?
I have no idea, but I hear some people call it that.
I haven't heard it called a jump drive in a long time. Real quick, while we're on the topic, controversial topic right here. Well, not controversial, but some people say you're supposed to. Some people say you're not supposed to. Some people say it doesn't matter. When you plug a thumb drive into your computer, right? Do you eject it first, or do you just pull it out?
I never do.
I never do either. Some people say you're supposed to. Some people say it doesn't matter. I don't know. We'll leave that one up in the air. But anyway, so describing the new family of storage drives, which will include 1 terabyte and 2 terabyte variants as consumer class, Samsung will obviously aim to price them at a level where quibbles? Is that what that is? Quibbles about performance will be overwhelmed by the sheer advantage of having terabytes of space. Any concerns about the reliability of these drives should also be allayed by the 3-year warranty promised by Samsung.
Yeah, this is not going to be your performance drive. This is going to be
like a
cheap
storage
bulk
drive.
Flash storage.
So maybe something
this is going to be an inexpensive option to upgrade, say, a laptop with a slow, crappy hard drive. You could toss one of these in.
Right.
Not going to be that expensive. Huge performance increase. Not really up there with the best SSDs, but still leagues ahead of ours.
Well, what about this? What about this? Okay? Archival storage.
On an SSD, though? Like, magnetic drives are fine for that.
Magnetic drives are fine, but if they're cheap enough...
The price per gigabyte is unbeatable.
That is true.
The price per gigabyte of a magnetic drive is still absolutely unbeatable.
Okay, how about this solution then?
Big bulk storage, it's going to be magnetic drives for...
Okay, how about this solution then? Not archival storage, but a NAS.
Even still, especially in a NAS, you can do RAID to offset some of the lesser performance of a magnetic
As long as it's not RAID 0. Linus.
or RAID 5, so you can have your redundancy and your performance increase. Why you do RAID 0? RAID 0, you're throwing away half your storage capacity.
Right? I mean, okay, better read and write speeds, faster read and write speeds, but yeah, if you lose a drive, you are screwed. So,
Well, unless you did RAID 10, which is RAID 0 with 4 drives, basically.
yeah. Regardless, I mean, if you have anything that you want to, have safe,
But
RAID
yeah, I
0
still
is
think
not
that
your
for a
best
NAS,
option.
I think for a NAS, magnetic drives probably still the way to go. You can get way more storage for the dollar, and you can offset some of the performance troubles with RAID. So
So here's
I just wait for the day when flash is as cheap as magnetic storage, because magnetic
yeah.
storage will die immediately then when
Well, prices are
there
coming
will
down
be
though.
no contest anymore. Prices are coming down, you're right.
Prices are coming down.
Not still anywhere close to magnetic storage, but
Yeah.
we'll get there eventually.
So
Sure.
Samsung is also working on a 128 gigabyte memory card for smartphones. That'll be kind of cool.
Yeah. I have one of their 64 gig cards.
Yep, I have a 64 gig card too. Wait, no, not from Samsung though. I think mine's from like PMY or something like that. But
They're quite cheap.
yeah, they're not bad. I got mine. Mine were given to me, so I've got one that has like the file format or something. It's like corrupt or something, and it won't actually accept like data. So I think it came from the factory that way. But anyways, so oh, you know what I did the other day? So with this whole family reunion thing, my mom's very into the ancestry and things of the family and stuff like that. Which is great because my family is super complicated. Like, we have a pretty big family, and you want to know the best part? We literally only use like 5 names of my entire family. That's not completely
Really?
true, but like,
Okay.
everyone is named after like everyone else. And so, like, my mom will be talking about one person, like, wait, this person from this place or this person from this place? Or that person or this person? No, this one that's married to this one. Oh, okay, not the one that has. So, anyways, like, literally, one of them is. You mean the one with the motorcycle? The one who doesn't have a motorcycle? uh, but yeah, so anyway, so that makes the family complicated. Anyway, so my mom put together a giant family tree, which is really, really nice because then I can just follow the flow chart basically, right? But anyway, so we were doing that on my very first laptop that I ever bought, which is HP ProBook 4510S, which shipped with, wait for it, Windows Vista.
I'm waiting for it.
So no. Oh, did you not hear it? Windows Vista?
Oh.
Quickly got upgraded to Windows 7. Yeah, so it quickly got upgraded to Windows 7. Now it runs Windows 10, but it has become my mother's computer. And still got a mechanical drive in it. Oh my goodness. After using SSDs in my laptop and my main system, I hate mechanical drives. Let's just say that. I hate mechanical drives now. They are so slow. But
I mean, not all of them are slow. Like, a good quality mechanical drive is perfectly acceptable
well, you also have to remember
for
when did
many things, but
it was probably between like 2010 or something like that. About
if
2010
you're
when I bought
talking
this
about,
laptop.
I find that a lot of laptops, those just absolutely atrocious. Those 5400 RPM drives, those are the worst. Oh my, I can't stand those drives. They're just terrible. So slow.
So, let's see here. There we go. There is that, and I have to get this. Okay. I don't think I actually read through this article, but that's all right. So, time for Microsoft news this week here. And, let's see here. There we go. Okay. There's the right screen. I'll need that for later. So Microsoft is addressing Surface Pen accuracy issues with its latest Surface Pro tablet. Now, hundreds of Surface Pro owners have been complaining about Surface Pen problems with the device for months, noting that the Surface Pen becomes inaccurate when you rest your hand on the Surface Pro screen. Now, Microsoft has been investigating a fix, and the latest Surface Pro firmware update, which is available on Windows Update, of course, and will be pushed to your Surface Pro without your permission, mind you, now addresses problems with the palm rejection affecting Surface Pen accuracy. Did you like that little what's the word?
A little remark about Windows Update.
Yeah, there we go.
I do like that.
So I mean, it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter about having to go check for the update, because it'll just be there when you right in the middle of working on a project, your system will just
Microsoft knows you want this.
shut down.
Microsoft knows that you want this, and even if you say you don't, they know you do.
So let me ask you
really
this. Let me ask you this.
You just have to eventually realize that you want it. Eventually, you'll realize you want it. Microsoft is just going to give it to you before you realize you want it.
Let me ask you this real quick. What the frick is the point behind the Surface Pro? I've never gotten it. Okay? It's a slim-looking...
beefier hardware or something? I don't know. I've never even looked at the
I will say
Surface
this.
lineup, really.
I will say this about the Surface lineup, okay? Surface Pros actually look really, really nice, and they're decent, portable size, right? But why would you spend that much money on a portable machine when you could buy a full-size laptop for about the same price? With probably better hardware in it. I've just never understood the whole point behind, what is the appeal behind... Is this
another case of form over function, I suppose?
Or is this Microsoft's way of trying to hang on to the netbook? Do you remember the craze for the netbook?
Kind of. I had one.
Did you really?
It was a real piece of crap.
Little atom processor in there, and
yep, exactly. 2 gigs of RAM.
Oh my gosh, I was gonna go with 512 megs.
Well, it came with one. Put another gig in there, so double the RAM.
Did it run any better?
Only 2 gigabytes. I mean, I think we upgraded it immediately, actually, but it was still. I mean, it's still 2 gigs of RAM.
Right.
It's not really, fantastic.
My little Acer 2-in-1 tablet with a little Atom processor in it actually performs quite well. In fact, I think it performs even better than a full-size laptop with either a Pentium or a Celeron in it. So, but what I found is super sad is that laptops nowadays, like Celerons and Pentiums, if you run anything besides Edge, I wonder if this is something with Microsoft, but if you run anything besides Edge and you try to watch a YouTube video, it sucks. It's unwatchable. I don't know what it is. I wonder if that's Microsoft working with the manufacturers for those lower end systems to get people to use.
I don't know. I feel like that's something to do with the decoding technology.
I don't know what
actually
it is.
Plays the video. I don't know.
Funnily enough,
would actually point to a possible performance deficiency just in those chips.
Funnily enough, ads play fine.
I know it would be hilarious to, knock on Microsoft for that, but actually, I feel like it's nothing to do
with Microsoft, but to do with those lower end processors.
It might just I'm gonna go with it's probably those lower end processors. They're just but
I think it's sad when something as simple as YouTube
because
doesn't
HD
work.
video should be like, come on, my phone can play HD video
Right,
easily.
exactly. Well, and I've even noticed it with like larger sites like Facebook, like the web version of it on a Celeron or a Pentium is horrible. But again, it's only like I've only noticed it in Firefox and Edge, or not Firefox and Firefox and Chrome. I don't know if those browsers are just more demanding from the CPU or what, because that also could be. But anyways, so affected users have confirmed pen strokes are now fully accurate when resting a hand on the Surface Pro screen. Microsoft's latest Surface Pro isn't the only device to experience strange screen-related issues in the Surface Pro lineup. Earlier this year, Microsoft launched a warranty replacement. Oh yeah, warranty replacement program for the Surface Pro 4s, which had screen flickering issues. Oh, I remember that. So, anyway, I don't know. It's just like this isn't the most interesting story in the world, but it's just one of those other things where it's like, what is Microsoft? What is Microsoft doing as a company? They have made changes to the Windows operating system. People are hating now. Their Surface Pro line,
They're kind of going down the software as a service route.
right? But even like, okay, like the Surface Pro lineup, like there's been problems with it lately. You know, screen flickering issues. This issue with, like, are these things not being tested beforehand? Of course, I mean, I guess Apple is kind of doing the same thing. Like, how do you ship a product and you didn't realize that the cooling was an issue, or maybe you did and you're just being sneaky about it? Because I could see Apple being that way, but like, I don't know. Or is it that Microsoft just has so much money right now that they kind of just don't give a crap? I really don't
No,
know.
I don't think any company ever has so much money that they don't give a crap. There's always more money for them.
ISPs.
Yeah, ISPs. Comcast. Gosh. Is it cold?
I just don't know. Like, but honestly, it's like every single week, right? We find something that we can kind of knock Microsoft down. What is going on with Microsoft? You know, Microsoft used
to be fair, they're a huge company that does a lot of things, so I'm sure it's not difficult to dig up something stupid they did.
You know what though? Here's the question. Here's the question: does Microsoft do too much now? Are they trying to do too much? Because this is where companies start to get into trouble. This is where companies start to get into trouble.
I don't know.
But anyways, I
mean, I'm no business analyst, so I feel like I'm not really qualified to even speak about it.
I don't know. It just seems like Microsoft is kind of like, we're going to do this, and hopefully it works. Maybe it doesn't. We'll try to fix it later if it doesn't. I don't know. But let's see here. All right. Get that up. All right. We are going to make some fun of Michel Ajit Pai real quick here, and his agency, and something kind of scummy they did. You ready? Get this. The FCC, right? The Federal Communications Commission, who is creepy and responsible for getting rid of net neutrality. I'm still a little bitter about that. But basically, they lied to Congress, right? About an alleged cyber attack and didn't come clean until now.
While I sort of doubt there would be any consequences for that, because why would there be? These people, they're good people. They can't face any consequences for lying to Congress about stuff. Okay, but seriously, I would really hope that there is some consequences for outright lying like that. Like, come on.
Okay.
Really?
So, well, it's been over a year since Ajit Pai and the Federal Communications Commission claimed that the agency's commenting filing system was subject to a cyber attack during the height of last year's net neutrality debate. Remember this. We covered this on the show, right? Where, like, basically the FCC's website crashed because of all the people. And then there was a bunch of talk about how, like, a lot of the comments were fake and things like that. Well, anyways, after the waves of speculation from both the public and Congress, the commission has finally come clean. Now, according to a report published by the agency's Inspector General the other day, there was no distributed denial of service attack, and this relaying of false information to Congress prompted a deeper investigation into whether senior officials at the FCC had actually broken the law. So, on May 7th of last year, comedian John Oliver, who's hilarious, by the way, he ran a segment on his show called Last Week Tonight and basically talked about the whole net neutrality thing, urged people to go to the website and complain, and like the year before or something like that, when there were talks about net neutrality or something, basically in the past before he's done the same thing, and they crashed the website with so many people going. So, now here's the other thing too, right? The show's producers even called the FCC before the episode that ran on the 7th of May to tell them that they were planning to do this again, so that they could hopefully, figure out what they were going to do in terms of their infrastructure and things like that, right?
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And so, but they called it a DDoS attack?
Well,
Oh.
I
Oh my gosh.
think
They
it's a little
said-
more complicated than that.
So you're telling me that they claimed it was a DDoS attack when it was actually just...
Well, no. So the
people
show,
going to the
no. There's more to it than this. But the show, prompted viewers to leave pro-net neutrality comments on the commission's restoring internet freedom proceedings.
Right, and then the sudden flood of traffic caused
Previously,
the website to go down.
the first time John Oliver did this, yes, right? Now, by the following morning, senior officials at the commission concluded that some external folks attempted to send high traffic and attempt to tie up the servers. Now, according to emails uncovered by the Inspector General, that was according to emails uncovered by the Inspector General. Now, the suggestion was that rather than being shut down by a surge of valid complaints, the site was flooded by fabricated traffic. Now, the assertion came from Chief Information Officer David Bray, and despite several people disputing his unsubstantiated conclusion in email chains, the DDoS theory was passed on to commissioners like Pai, who told members of Congress that what had happened that evening was classified as a non-traditional DDoS attack. So, let's see here. So, you're right. I think what happened was... So,
Gosh, it seems like
even if the suggestion that the shutdown was tied to a DDoS attack was made in good faith, the commission should have known better. The FCC knew Oliver planned, and here we go, right, to run a net neutrality segment on his show. Now, the reporter recounts a producer, as I said, called them to give them a heads up days prior to running the episode. Now, that email was forwarded to the FCC's Chief of Staff, Matthew Berry, and after discussion with other employees, the agency decided not to respond. So they basically decided to do nothing, right? Now, the report does mention that neither Bray nor IT have been notified of the episode prior to its airing, but in email correspondence with other FCC officials, Bray is asked to consider whether the shutdown was the result of Oliver's program. Now, the commission also knew that Oliver's show had power to move enough viewers to crash their system, just that it... so it was actually 3 years prior that Oliver ran a segment, right, and crashed the site. So what I'm wondering is, right, looking through the article, basically somebody didn't say something and then they lied about it, right? Was this a way to basically push things in their favor and another attempt to stop net neutrality?
I can't even say, honestly. It's just...
See, because that's what I think.
Kind of exacerbating, really. The people want net neutrality, but they're just kind of sweeping the people under the rug. Like, who cares what these people think? Gonna get rid of it.
Right. So, from what I got from the article, it sounded like basically somebody lied somewhere along the lines. And so now
And
there's
misrepresented this flood of traffic as a DDoS attack when it was actually just a flood of traffic that they knew was going to happen because they were informed.
and I'm sure there's probably some other parts of it too, but you're right. Somewhere along the line, it sounds like the IT department didn't know that any of this was happening, right? But that's what I'm
Why
wondering.
tell them that this is going to happen?
But
They don't need to know.
but what I'm wondering is if this is some of the executives in the FCC's way of trying to again block that whole net neutrality repeal thing from happening, or
Well, if the site's down, nobody can leave pro net neutrality comments, right?
right. But then there was a big debate about over the comments as well about how a lot of them were fake and things like that and stuff. I'm wondering if this all
Again,
played
the
into
whole
it.
thing just reeks of cheating almost. I guess. It's just the whole thing just smells like cheating.
Well, and that's what I'm wondering. So, um,
And it just makes you feel like you don't have a chance.
well, so
Like they're gonna pretend it's up for a vote, but
yeah.
really the results.
Well, there was
decided
no
anyway,
analysis.
so they're gonna do whatever it takes to repeal net neutrality, even if everybody says they want to have net neutrality.
Yeah, and there was no analysis supporting the conclusion that it was a DDoS attack either. Now, Pi responded.
I don't know what. I don't know why anybody would want to shut that down. Like, gosh.
Well, I mean, for them, probably money and stuff like that. Now, Pi
No,
did.
no. I mean, just like some random
Oh,
hacker group or something.
yeah.
Hacker
Now,
group.
well, so Pi did release a statement a day before it was released to the public. I'm pleased that this report debunks the conspiracy theory that my office or I had any knowledge that the information provided by the former CIO was inaccurate and was allowing the inaccurate information to be disseminated for political purposes. It has become clear that in addition to a flawed comment system, we inherited from the prior administration a culture in which many members of the commission's career IT staff were hesitant to express disagreements with the commissioner's former CIO in front of FCC management. I have no idea actually what that means. But anyways, some people are calling for Ajit Pai to actually step down because of all this stuff and things. But yeah, anyways. All right.
He should step down for being an idiot.
I'm over all the political crap for this week. We've got one more story to get through. And Zach,
I don't even think that's political, but
well,
sure.
anyways,
don't talk about it anymore.
um,
I guess it is kind of, but
long story short, TLDR, basically the FCC lied and they're scumbags.
FCC are lying, cheating scumbags.
Or at least,
who would have thought?
Or at least the people that are in the FCC right now.
People running the FCC right now are lying, cheating scumbags who are in the pocket of cable companies. Next.
Probably. Well, you have to remember, Ajit Pai was a lawyer for like Verizon or something like that.
And is in the pocket of cable companies.
Yeah, telecommunication companies, things like that. So, we are going to move on to our last topic for this week, and then we are getting out of here for the week. But we are talking about Threadripper, the second generation. Zach, I'm having you kind of take the lead on this one. Because
32 cores, 64 threads. Gosh, that's something.
Well, okay, hang on. Yeah. So for the 2990WX, that is. So.
Well, yeah, that's the top end.
But also look at the price on that, $1,799 US.
Yeah, well, not too long ago, Intel were offering a CPU for the same price. And do you remember how many cores it had? 18.
Was it only 18?
It was only 18.
See, now we said this a couple weeks ago.
Now we're up to 32?
See,
God.
Okay, so Intel is slipping, right? Now, I wonder what Intel's game is on all this.
Well, now, as I recall, Intel have announced or possibly launched, I'm not sure about that, have at least announced a 28 core CPU for the desktop. Forget how much it costs, but it's like, here's the thing, and I'm gonna kind of reuse this explanation that I've heard a few times, or this argument, I guess. This 28 core CPU of theirs is basically cannibalized from their top tier server lineup. Oh, you just linked that to me.
Oh, these are server.
So
these are server.
it's
chips?
basically a repurposed server CPU. It is a repurposed server CPU. It's the biggest CPU they can possibly. They don't have any more tricks. They have no more tricks up their sleeve. They cannot increase the core count anymore without designing something completely new. But because Ryzen is based on these smaller core complexes of 4 cores, right? They can just pile more on there. They can just pile more on there. They
you
can
mean?
pile 32
Wait, hang on, Zach. You mean just glue more to the die?
Yeah, right. Because they use glue to do that. But they could just chuck more of these. Okay, so
you got the reference there, right?
Yeah, I did. I remember Intel making fun of them for that. Oh, they're just glued together. Like, so if they're 4 cores each, I believe, and so there's 32. That means there's 8 core complexes on this top end CPU. What's to stop them from just chucking 8 more? And now you have 64 cores.
Right.
What's to stop them from doing that?
Well, so
where is Intel gonna be then?
So let's take a look at the table.
Where are they
here.
gonna be?
Did you have the table, right?
The table of what?
The graphic that I made the other day. It should be in your Slack.
Let's see. Nope.
Hold on, give me 2 seconds here. I would just tell you to grab it.
Oh, now I do. Yeah. I got it.
Yeah, let's run down down the table real quick here.
But that bit that I just talked about is what really is what I'm waiting for. Is like the next generation when AMD inevitably add more cores to the next generation. What are Intel going to do?
Right?
How are they going to?
Well,
I'm curious
they're already behind.
What's going to happen.
They're already behind.
And like I said, they're behind because AMD can just pile more core complexes onto their chip and have more cores. I mean, there are ups and downs to doing it that way, but Intel would have to design something completely new because that 28 core chip is the largest one they make.
Well, yeah. So
and they basically just repurposed a server CPU and just.
Oh, Intel did. Okay.
Although I'm sure they're making much less money on that because the server CPUs are obviously very expensive, but they can't slap a $10,000 price tag on a desktop CPU and expect people to.
Oh, was this the one? Yeah, the 28 core one. This is the one where they had like that super odd cooling solution, right?
Yes, and there was some buzz surrounding that because it came to light that the cooling solution they used was meant for aquariums, and it was very overbuilt. So. In other words, this CPU, in order to reach 5 gigahertz, was taking a huge amount of voltage.
That and
producing a huge amount of heat. So that means like people got all hyped over the 5 gigahertz number, but nobody is gonna get that number on a real sample unless they have an incredibly good sample chip and also some obscene cooling settings.
So, let's see here. Intel technically already makes a 28-core monolithic designed in the Intel Xeon scalable platforms with the Xeon Platinum 8180. But that's going to set you back. Any guesses, Zach? Well, you've got the article, but...
Like 10 grand, is it?
Yep, 10 grand.
10 grand, yep.
And it runs a lot slower than 5 gigahertz. So anyways, but no, I mean, who's gonna have that cooling solution for the for that 28 core CPU that they have? I feel like it was more of a hoax than anything, kind of. But, anyways, let's go back
I
to.
really think that for Intel in the core count escalation game, the only real solution is they need to get on the same page with AMD as far as the multiple core complexes design philosophy is. Like they're gonna have to figure out how to do that themselves because they can't be making like 48, 64 core die like that. They just can't. It would cost a fortune to do that.
Yeah, so let's go back to the Threadripper second generation here. Let's look at the table. Let's run down the different models here, and their specs here. Let's do that. You ready?
Yeah,
Do you have the table in front of you?
yeah, I do.
All
All
right.
right.
So go ahead and run down this here, Zach. Okay. And give your thoughts here. So we'll start with the 2990WX.
We got 32 cores, we got 24 cores, we got 16 cores, and we got 12 cores. And the 32 and 24 cores having 64 megabytes cache, 250 watts, and the other two having 32 megs cache, 180 watts. Kind of maybe a little surprised about the wattage. That seems a little bit low for so many cores. Well, anyway, the clocks are looking a little bit low on the base. 3.0 gigahertz for 32 and 24, 3.5 gigahertz for 16 and 12. But the boost goes above 4 gigahertz on all models. Curiously, it's higher on 16 cores than 12.
That's what I was looking at. Yeah,
But I think that boost points to the what's that thing they call it? A precision boost or something like that. Where it will it will ramp up like one or two or several cores rather than all of them to that high. Because I don't know how you're gonna get a 32 core chip to go 4.2 gigahertz. Oh well, actually, hold on. Because it uses the core complexes type deal where there's only really just many quad core chips on the die. Maybe it would be more feasible.
Interesting.
Well, anyway,
Well,
I
so
don't really know much more regarding the performance.
and when we look at the table here, so the 2990WX and the 2950X, those are actually. Oh wait, hang on, maybe they're not. The 2990WX actually just released yesterday? It looks like.
Yep.
According to the table. So now AMD has a 32 core, 64 thread CPU on the market for $1,799. So Intel's got to do something to catch up here, I think.
Although for this generation, they will probably just stick to their 28 core CPU. But next generation, it's going to be real interesting to see what they come up with. But they're going to have to come up with something. They can't do this 28 core thing again when AMD just pull out 12, 16 more cores for their next generation.
Right? This is. I don't know. The game of CPUs right now is getting really, really interesting, though, because.
Real spicy. I like it.
I like it, too, because in the end, I think it definitely.
In the end, people who buy CPUs win.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Well, think about it. I have a.
We are the winners when these companies are going head to head like that.
Yeah. Well, think about
because we get to buy the best products they make.
Yeah, I have an 8-core processor with 16 threads in it. This is a beast of a processor right now. Obviously not as beastly as the 2990WX, but still, for a consumer, that's
and
way...
at the price point.
Exactly, at the price point. That's amazing. But now you look at the price point for Intel, too, and something comparable is going to cost you, at least $200 more or so.
Comparable in terms of purely core count, yes.
Well, actually, and you know what? I don't think there is even anything right at the moment that is comparable to a 2990X. Or no, not. Is that what I have? 2990X.
990X.
Is that what we put in here?
2990WX.
Well, no. I mean in my system.
Oh, no. It's a 2700X.
Yes, there we go. 2700X. Yep, you're right. But I don't think, Intel doesn't have anything comparable to that right now. So,
Well, they do. It's just under their i9 branding.
Yeah, but it's not released yet, is it? It's not released yet, is it?
Oh, is it not? I'm sure it is. Well, I mean, they make 8-core consumer CPUs. It's just the latest ones aren't out yet, perhaps.
Well, let's see here. Intel 8-core CPU. See, because everything I'm seeing is 9th gen here. Intel i7. Oh, wait, hang on.
No, under the high-end desktop lineup.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see here. What is this? This is
So under the i9 and the
there's an Intel Core i7 7820X.
i7 Extreme Edition.
Skylake 8 cores.
They definitely do make comparable chips. The price point is what's different, really.
Well, this one isn't horrible. I mean, this is on sale right now, $469.99, but still, it's a lot higher than I think that's still a lot higher than what you're going to pay for the Intel. And again, the price to performance on the Intel, or not Intel, on the AMD chips is a lot better for consumers right now. So, but the competition is good. Now, if only we could get some competition and some lower prices across the board between graphics cards, that would be awesome.
Oh yeah, that's fun stuff.
Yeah, all the miners need to just stop buying graphics cards. Although I wonder what
mining
happens.
craze is over. Our mining craze is long over.
So the GPU prices can start dropping now. Hopefully.
Well, they're not hyper inflated anymore. They're kind of back to normal-ish.
Are they? So. Anyway, all right. I'm getting tired for this week. I'm sure you are. We've gone over an hour this week, so I think this is where we call the show. We'll see you guys either Sunday next week or Monday the following week or so.
We'll see.
We'll figure something out. But anyways, all right. If you haven't done so already, get subscribed. Thumbs up if you like the video. Thumbs down if you didn't like the video. Let's see what else. Go check out the forum. We'll have stuff linked down there. Check out the podcast because you can listen to us anytime. If somebody remembers to put it up online, Joe. I asked him to do last week's. He still hasn't done it yet. Let's see what else. I think that's it. All right, so we'll see all of you next week. Bye.